Hello friends, today let us understand OOPS concepts, that is Object-Oriented Programming System Concepts Part 1. Object-Oriented Programming is more natural way to programming. In the previous video, we looked at what an object is. Object is a real world entity and the environment is composed of objects, and environment is composed of the real world is composed of objects that are identifiable, classifiable, and interacting objects. When we have interacting, identifiable, and classifiable objects, we must be in a position to represent the same even in programming. That is the reason why object-oriented programming is more natural way to programming. Now let us understand what is the definition of object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is a method of implementation. There are several methods of implementation. One among them is object-oriented programming. So object-oriented programming is a method of implementation in which programs are decomposed into objects. So programs are organized as a collection of objects, and objects interact in order to accomplish a task. Whenever a task is to be performed, it can be achieved only through an interaction of objects, and each object is a variable of class, and all the classes must be united through inheritance. Now the question comes, what a class is? A class is a set of objects having similar characteristics. When we say that an object is a variable or class, what a class is? A class is nothing but a set of objects having similar characteristics. So, in the last point, we are saying that all the classes are united through inheritance. That is, hierarchy of classes is to be framed, and somewhere or the other, all the classes must go into that particular hierarchy. This wonderful definition is given by Grady Pooch. Now let us understand concepts of object-oriented programming system. First one, it is encapsulation. Encapsulation means grouping of data and functions. So we already know that an object is a combination of two things, that is the data and functions. So whenever we group data and functions together, it is known as encapsulation, and the data and functions are known as members. That is, data is known as data members and methods are known as member methods. And the next important point to be understood here is data hiding. The data is to be hidden from direct access. We already looked at one picture. So data is a which is surrounded by only member methods, and outside methods cannot come and access data. So in that way, member methods act as interfaces between outside world and member method, data. And only member functions can access the data. We know about this one already, and member functions act as interfaces. Next, it is data abstraction. Abstraction is a method of creating new data types from encapsulated items. So because we already achieved encapsulated items, now we are in a position to create a new data types. Such data types are referred to as abstract data types. Classes use the concept of data abstraction. Thus, classes are referred to as abstract data types. Now, let us understand the third important concept in OOPS, that is classes and objects. Class is a user-defined data type. We know that a class is nothing but set of objects having similar characteristics. By defining a class, we are defining an user-defined data type. Once you define an user-defined data type, any number of its variables, that is objects, can be created. Such process is known as instantiation. And variables, that is objects, variables of class are known as objects. Objects are also referred to as instances of class. Whenever objects are created, then only the required amount of memory is allocated. Here we are looking at different styles of representing an object. So first of all we write object name and then data, that is attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3, attribute n. Next it is the methods, method 1, method 2 and so on. This is one style of representing an object. The another style of representing an object is circular model. This is one of the best models. So here there is data in the inner circle which is surrounded by member methods, which clearly indicates that outside methods cannot access the data. Accessing data is possible only for member methods, and member methods act as interfaces between outside world and data. This is the second model of representing what an object is. For example, if I take account object, every account object must have account number, account type, whether it is savings account or current account, and the name of the account and account holder, and then balance amount that is there in his or her account. That way we can have data members. Similarly, we can have member methods like depositing the amount and withdrawing the amount, and similarly inquiring what the balance is in the account, such kind of inquiries. This is one model of representing an object. This is another model, account number, account type, name and balance, which are surrounded by